Hi everyone, I'm Yana from Susan's family. Today I'm bringing you the making method of the Blossom Embrace vest. This vest is made up of the body, front and back bodies, hems, collar, cuffs, and a few other sections. Among them, the body and front and back bodies are all made by joining motifs together. After completing that, work the cuffs, hems, and collar. Now I'll demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Start by crocheting the body. The entire body is made up of rounds of motifs joined together. Note that only the first motif is worked separately. The rest of the motifs are joined to the previous motif while working the final round. Now watch me demonstrate the specific joining method. Work the first round. The first motif. Treat it as motif 1. Motif 1 is started with a chain ring method. Crocheting in rounds counterclockwise. The stitches used are chain, single crochet, treble crochet, and slip stitch. Watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Before starting to crochet, first learn the proper posture for crocheting. This vest uses 2 yarn options. The first few rounds of the motif are crocheted with color segmented yarn, and starting with different color segments will result in slightly different effects. Choose according to your preference. Feel free to pick whichever you like. When actually joining them together, you can stagger the colors of adjacent motifs, making the overall look more appealing. To make it easier for everyone to see clearly, I'll demonstrate using cotton yarn. For specific yarn, color schemes and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. First, let's cast on. Wrap the yarn tail around your left little finger. Make a loop. Thread it through between middle finger and index finger. Then use your thumb and middle finger to pinch the yarn tail. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Place it underneath the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Use your left thumb and middle finger to pinch the crossing point of the loop. Put it on the left side of your yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This slip knot does not count as a stitch. Gently tighten. Slightly adjust the size of the loop. Begin crocheting chain stitches. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. 1 chain stitch is done. Yarn over again. Draw the yarn through. This is the second stitch. Continue crocheting. 3rd stitch. 4th stitch. 5th stitch. 6th stitch. 1 chain counts as 1 stitch. The loop on the hook does not count toward the stitch count. The chain is completed. Next, insert the hook into the first chain, the outer strand. Finish with a slip stitch. Insert. Draw the yarn through. Pull through all loops on the hook. Slip stitch completed. The chart shows a slip stitch here, indicated by an oval solid dot, meaning the slip stitch should not be tightened. This way the starting chain is completed. Now begin round 1. Make 1 chain stitch as the turning chain for the single crochet. This chain stitch does not count as a stitch. Then work single crochets into the magic ring. Make a single crochet, insert the hook into the magic ring. When crocheting, place the starting tail over your hook. Weave it in as you go along. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through. 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again. Pull through all loops on the hook in one go. 1 single crochet is completed. At the top right of the single crochet, there are 2 strands of yarn forming a V shape. This is the stitch of a single crochet. Place a stitch marker on the stitch. If you don't have a stitch marker, you can use a paperclip instead, or use a safety pin as a substitute. Continue working single crochets. Insert into the beginning magic ring. Place the yarn tail above the hook. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over. Draw through in once. 2 loops on the hook. The second single crochet is completed. The first round requires a total of 16 single crochets. Continue to complete the remaining single crochets. While crocheting, don't forget to weave in the yarn tail. When you reach 1/3 of the way, move the completed section to the right, leaving space for the remaining part. After completing the last single crochet, you can count the number of stitches. From back to front, count the V-shaped loops. A total of 16 stitches. Matching the chart. At the stitch marker position, make 1 slip stitch. Insert the hook. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. Pull through all the loops on your hook. The slip stitch is complete. In the chart, this slip stitch is indicated by a solid circle, which means you should tighten it. The slip stitch doesn't count as a stitch here. The first round is done. The clearer texture side is the right side. The other side has a blurrier texture. The starting tail has been woven in around 1 round. You can cut it directly. Move on to crochet round 2. Chain 4 to start this round. 1, 2, 3, 4. Treat these 4 chains as 1 treble crochet. Mark it on the 4th chain. The beginning chain corresponds to the stitch below, the single crochet stitch. Work 2 chains as a bridge. From the adjacent single crochet stitch, work a treble crochet. Yarn over twice. 1, 2. Insert the hook into the corresponding stitch. Draw the yarn through. There are 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. On the hook, 3 loops remain. Continue with a yarn over, then draw through the next 2 loops. On the hook, repeat this step twice. 1, 2. 1 treble crochet is completed. Work 2 chains as a transition. Into the next stitch. Make the second treble crochet stitch. Yarn over twice. Insert the hook. Pull through. There are 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over one after another. Draw through the first 2 loops on the hook. The first 2 loops on your hook. Repeat 3 times. 1, 2, 3. The second treble crochet is completed. Plus the beginning chain. A total of 3 stitches have been crocheted. This round pick up the stitches from the previous round. Crochet a total of 16 stitches. Between every 2 stitches, work 2 chains as a bridge. Finish crocheting the remaining part. After completing the last treble crochet, work 2 chains as a bridge. Into the 4th chain of the beginning chain. Join with a slip stitch to finish. Pick up both strands of the chain. Pull tight. Round 2 is completed. Now crochet round 3. Make a chain 1 as the turning chain for the single crochet. Work 3 single crochets into the adjacent chain space. Mark the first stitch. This entire round will be worked into the chain spaces of the previous round. Work 3 single crochets in each chain space. Complete all of them. Finally, in the first single crochet stitch, join with a slip stitch to finish. Pull tight. Round 3 is completed. Continue to crochet round 4. Chain 1 as beginning chain. The beginning chain corresponds to the stitch below. Work 1 single crochet into it. Mark it. Then skip 2 stitches. Starting from the 3rd stitch, work 7 treble crochets. 1, 2, 3. That is, into this 1 stitch. Treat these stitches as a fan pattern. Then skip 2 stitches. Make a single crochet in the 3rd stitch. There are many treble crochets. They will cover the adjacent stitches. Pay attention not to miss any. Continue skipping 2 stitches. In the 3rd stitch, crochet a fan pattern. 7 treble crochets. This round, 1 single crochet, 1 fan pattern, alternate crocheting between the 2, all separated by 2 single crochets. You can see, they are all worked into the first single crochet of the chain space below. Repeat this process. Continue down to finish them. After completing the last fan pattern group, join with a slip stitch in the single crochet. Pull tight. The 4th round is completed. Now work the 5th round. Make 1 beginning chain to start. The beginning chain corresponds to this single crochet stitch below. Work 1 single crochet in it. Mark it. Chain 5 as a transition. In the adjacent fan pattern, work a single crochet in the middle stitch. Continue with 5 chains as a bridge. In the adjacent single crochet stitch, work a single crochet. This entire round is worked on the previous round's single crochet stitches, and in the middle stitches of each fan pattern group, work a single crochet. Work a single crochet in each, between every 2 single crochets. Chain 5 as a transition. Continue to finish them all the way down. After completing the last single crochet, chain 5. Join with a slip stitch to finish. Pull tight. Switch to a new color yarn for the next round. Chain 1 to secure. Pull up a large loop. Leave a yarn tail of about 5 centimeters. Cut the yarn. Pull tight. The 5th round is completed. Move on to the 6th round. Take the new yarn. Make a slip knot with the yarn end. Hang the yarn tail on the left hand. Take the work piece. Insert the hook into the previous round. Into the fan pattern. Into the single crochet stitch. Draw the loop through. Adjust the loop size. Chain 4 to start this round. Mark it. Work 3 treble crochets into the same stitch. Crochet while catching in the starting tail. Including the turning chain, a total of 4 stitches made. Then crochet 6 chains down. Into the single crochet of the adjacent fan pattern, work 1 single crochet. Continue with 6 chains. Into the single crochet of the adjacent fan pattern, work 4 treble crochets. Treat the 2 groups of treble crochets on the left and right, the 2 groups of chains, and the middle single crochet, as one side. The first side is completed. Move on to the first corner, chain 5. Now work the second side. Into the same stitch, work 4 treble crochets. Six chains. One single crochet. 6 chains. 4 treble crochets. The second side is completed. At the corner, chain 5. Into the same stitch, work 4 treble crochets. Each side consists of 2 groups of treble crochets, 2 groups of chains, and a single crochet in the middle. At the corner position, chain 5. The treble crochets of adjacent sides are worked into the same stitch. Repeat this process. Complete the remaining part. The last 4 treble crochets are worked into the starting chain's insertion point. After completing, chain 5. Finally, at the stitch marker position, join with a slip stitch to finish. Pick up both loops of the chain and crochet. Pull tight. Chain 1 to secure. When cutting the yarn, always leave a 5 cm yarn tail. I won't repeat this again. Pull tight. Take the 2 yarn tails. Take these yarn ends, weave them in along the backside texture. In practice, always weave through several more stitches, then trim off the excess. Round 6 is completed. Motif 1 is done. Pay attention, only the first motif is crocheted separately. All other motifs are joined to the previous motif while working the final round. After finishing this motif, measure the motif's diameter. If it differs significantly from the dimension marked on the chart, you need to adjust your tension. Adjust your tension. Re-crochet. On the right side of this motif, place a marker, mark it as the first motif. Next, proceed with joining motifs. Motifs are always joined from right to left. The middle motifs are only joined on one side. For the last motif, you need to join the motifs on both left and right sides. Join the 2 sides. Now watch me demonstrate the specific joining method. First, crochet motif 1 up to the end of the 3rd side. Here I've already crocheted in advance. Next, crochet the 3rd corner. When crocheting, connect it to any corner of the first motif. Connect it to any corner of the first motif. Work 2 chains. Leave the loop open. Take out the first motif. Place the wrong sides of the 2 motifs together. The right side faces out. Insert the hook into the loop that was left. Adjust the size of the loop. Then insert into the back motif, into any edge or corner space. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Work 1 single crochet, 2 chains. Work 4 treble crochets into the front motif. This corner is now joined. Work 6 chains down. One single crochet. Join while working this single crochet. First insert the hook into the SC stitch of the front motif. Then insert into the back motif. This side. Into the middle single crochet stitch. The wrong side stitch is at the upper left position. Insert through a total of 4 yarn strands. Yarn over, draw the yarn through, work single crochets. Then chain 6. This side is now joined. Work 4 treble crochets down. Work the last corner below. When crocheting, connect it with the corner hole on the back side. Join. Chain 2. Insert into the corresponding corner hole at the back. Make a single crochet. Chain 2. Join with a slip stitch at the stitch marker position. Pull tight. Cut the yarn. Remember to weave in the ends in reality. Motif 1 number 2 is completed, and it's already joined with the first motif. Connected. The motifs in the middle section are all joined using this method. First connect to the previous motif on the left side. Each motif is connected at 3 points. First, finish crocheting the first 3 sides of this motif. Connect when making the third corner. Work 2 chains. Take the previous motif. Find the second motif. The first motif was already marked earlier. The left side is the second motif. Connect it to the left side of this motif. Place the wrong sides of the 2 motifs together. Align the sides that need to be joined. Insert the hook into the right side. Work a single crochet into the corner space. 2 chains. This corner is now connected. Work 4 treble crochets down. Six chains. Then crochet 1 single crochet to connect. First insert the hook into the front motif, into the single crochet stitch. Then insert into the back motif, into the single crochet stitch. Work a single crochet. 6 chains. 4 treble crochets. This side is now connected. Work 2 chains down. Insert into the back corner space, and work a single crochet. 2 chains. Join with a slip stitch to finish. Pull tight. Cut the yarn. The third motif is completed. All three motifs are now joined. Repeat this process. Connect all the middle motifs. For the last motif, in addition to joining with the second to last motif, it also needs to be connected to the first motif. On the side, join them together into a circle. I'll demonstrate the method for joining the last motif. Here I'm only showing the technique. The number of motifs is random. First work the first side of this motif completely. After completing, work 2 chains. Take the previously joined motif. First attach it to the first motif. On the right side edge. Connect them all together. After completing, crochet the third side. This side doesn't need to join any motifs, just crochet normally. After completing, crochet the final side and 2 corners. While crocheting, connect to the second to last motif on the left side edge. In practice there are more motifs. Pay attention to keep the right side of the motif facing out. Connect them all. Finally slip stitch and cut the yarn. The last motif is completed. The first round is complete. Then connect the motifs for round 2. The number of motifs to join in this round is the same as in the first round. The first motif still connects only one side. The middle motifs. First connect to the motif below. Then connect to this round, the motif on the right side. Connect a total of 2 sides. The last motif needs to connect to both left and right motifs, as well as the one below, connecting a total of 3 sides. Same as before, connect from right to left. Now watch me demonstrate the specific joining method. For the first motif, you only need to connect one side at the top to any motif in the first round. Align the positions to be joined. 2 chains. When connecting corner holes, pay attention. The corner at the back has already been connected to the adjacent motif. Insert into the chain space where you join with a single crochet. Work a single crochet to join. Continue with 2 chains. Connect the remaining parts. When joining the last corner, pay attention. Insert into the chain space for joining with a single crochet. Finally cut the yarn. The first motif is completed. Now attach the second motif. It needs to be joined not only to the adjacent motif below, along the top edge, but also to the motif already connected in this round. On the left side, continue down and connect them all. Same as before, insert into the chain space for joining with a single crochet, work a single crochet to join. When you reach a point where three motifs meet, when joining at the corner where the edges meet and there's a chain space, insert into the previous round the chain space used for crocheting the joining single crochet, make a single crochet to join. In this round, work 2 single crochets into the same chain space. Continue down and finish the rest. Finally cut the yarn. The second motif is now connected. For the motifs in the middle, connect them using this same method. Pay attention when joining the two adjacent motifs. Joining single crochets in this round should be worked into the previous round, into the stitch where there's a joining single crochet, into that chain space. Follow this way. Simply continue until all middle motifs are connected. Now I'll demonstrate it. For the last motifs joining method, first complete the first side, work 2 chains, take the previous motif, first attach to the right side edge of the first motif in this round, then connect to the top edge of the motif from the first round. Next join to the edge above the first round. Finally connect to the side edge of the motif on the right. Once completed, cut the yarn. Fasten off. The motifs of round 2 are all joined. Now let's connect the motifs of round 3. The first motif of round 3 is different from the previous motifs. Treat it as motif 2. Motif 2 also uses the chain ring method to start and is worked back and forth. Please watch my demonstration for the specific crocheting method. First, make a foundation chain of 6 to form a ring. Then make one beginning chain to start. Into the starting loop, work 9 single crochets. The starting tail of the yarn, weave in as you go along. Mark the first stitch. Once the single crochet is complete, shift the position of the single crochet slightly, so that the first and last single crochets align in a straight line. The starting tail of the yarn. Cut it directly. Row 1 is complete. Now work row 2. Chain 4 to start this round. No need to mark. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise. The stitches on the other side are positioned at the upper left. The beginning chain corresponds to the stitch below. Work 2 chains as a transition. From the adjacent stitch, work 1 treble crochet. Continue with 2 chains as a transition. Work a treble crochet in the adjacent stitch. Complete them. The last treble crochet, work it at the marker spot. Row 2 is completed. Move on to row 3. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise. In the left side space, crochet 3 single crochets. Mark it. This entire row is worked into the spaces. Crochet 3 single crochets. Continue down and complete them. Row 3 is finished. Continue to crochet row 4. Chain 4 to start this round. Mark it. Turn the workpiece. The beginning chain corresponds to the stitch below. Work 3 treble crochets into it. Skip 2 stitches. In the third stitch, crochet 1 single crochet. Continue skipping 2 stitches. On the third stitch, crochet 1 fan pattern, 7 treble crochets. One single crochet behind, 1 fan pattern, alternate crocheting between the two, all separated by 2 stitches. Once the fan pattern is completed, it will cover the adjacent stitch. Pay attention not to miss it. Finish crocheting them. After completing the last single crochet, 2 stitches remain on the left side. Skip 1 stitch. At the marker position, work 4 treble crochets. Row 4 is completed. Now crochet row 5. Make 1 beginning chain to start. Turn the workpiece. The turning chain corresponds to this stitch below. Make a single crochet in it. Mark it. Then chain 5 as a bridge. From the left side single crochet stitch, work a single crochet. Continue with 5 chains as a bridge. At the middle of the fan pattern, make a single crochet. Work them all the way down. The last single crochet, hook into the beginning chain, the 4th chain with 2 strands, insert directly into the marker spot. Next row requires switching colors. Crochet a chain stitch to secure. Cut the yarn. Pull tight. Row 5 is complete. Finally work on the 6th row. When crocheting, need to join with the previous round. Connect to any motif above. Hang the new yarn tail with your left hand. Turn the work piece. Position the fan pattern, with the clearer texture side, facing you. Insert the hook into the edge stitch. Draw the loop through. Make 1 chain as your beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet in the same stitch. When crocheting, carry these 2 yarn tails along. Six chains. Then work 4 treble crochets. One side is completed. Move on to the first corner. 2 chains. Take the previous motif. Connect to any motif above from round 2. Join. Complete this side. After finishing the connection, then finish crocheting the remaining part. The last single crochet, work into the marker spot of the previous row. Chain 1 to secure. Cut the yarn. Pull tight. Weave in all the yarn tails. Motif 2 is completed, and it's joined with the motif below. Now connect the second motif in this round. This one is motif 1. First, join it to the motif from the previous round. I've already connected it ahead of time here. Then connect to motif 2 on the right side. Work 4 treble crochets downward. Six chains. Then move on to single crochets. Connect the motifs together. So now it's joined with motif 2. Finish crocheting the remaining part of motif 1. This is the second motif. This is what it looks like after joining. The following joining methods are all the same. After connecting the corresponding number of motif 1s, you still need to attach one more motif 2. Again, first complete the first side. Then join it with the motif below. Finally connect it with the motif 1 on the right side. Once the single crochet is completed, just cut the yarn. The method is the same. After finishing this motif 2, connect the corresponding number of motif 1s again. The joining method for the last motif 1 is the same as before. When working the single crochets on the second side, join it with the motif 2 on the left side, then connect the remaining 2 sides. Refer to the chart, connect them all. This is the joining method for the third round. The body section is now connected. Once the body is completed, crochet the front and back bodies. The front and back bodies are also made up of rows of motifs joined together. Let's take a look at the finished product. Place the 2 motif 2s of the body on the sides. Align front and back, and press it flat. Skip these 2 motif 2s, do not join them. Treat this as the underarm. Connect at the motif 1 positions. First look at the front body. On the third round of the body, on the 4 motif 1s, attach a row of motif 1s. Connect one motif to one side. For the remaining 3 motifs, connect 2 sides each. Once done, on this row, attach one motif above the left and right motifs. Attach one motif to each side above. Skip the 2 middle motifs, do not join them. This is the joining method for the front body. The back body is the same. Repeat this process. First attach a row of motif 1s on the right side of row 2. When joining the first motif 1, first connect it to the motif below. Then crochet one side. This side won't be connected to any motif. When crocheting the last side, connect it to the edge above the motif on the front body, joining the side edge above the motif on the front piece. The shoulders of the front and back bodies are now joined together. This is the joining method for the first motif, connecting 2 motif 2s in the middle, and finally attaching one motif 1. Same as before, first connect to the motif on the back body from the previous row, then connect to the motif 2 on the right side, and finally join to the edge above the motif on the front piece, connecting the top side edge of the front motif. This shoulder side is now connected too, and this is the joining method for row 2 motifs. The motifs on the front and back pieces are now connected, and the shoulders are joined as well. After completing the front and back pieces, at the reserved cuff position, pick up stitches, and crochet in rounds for the sleeve edge. Using the new stitch technique, double crochet. Watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. I'll use a few sample motifs to demonstrate the technique. Start with the first round. Make a slip knot on the yarn tail. Insert the hook into the underarm, the magic ring of motif 2. Pull through the loop. Adjust the loop size. Make one beginning chain to start. Work one single crochet in the same position. When crocheting, hold the starting tail of the yarn, keep it above the hook. Weave in together at the end. Place a marker. Next to it is the single crochet row. Pick up the stitches along the edge. Crochet 1 single crochet. At the top of the beginning chain, pick up the post. Crochet 3 single crochets. Single crochet row, work single crochets into the edge stitches. At the beginning chain position, pick up the post and crochet 3 single crochets. This sample only demonstrates the method. Joining positions are random. Still need to crochet 2 more single crochets. Insert around the approximate edge area and crochet. In practice, when reaching a joining single crochet position, pick up approximately 2 strands. Now we've reached motif 1 position. Work 5 single crochets directly into the chain space. Part of the starting tail has already been woven in. You can cut off the excess part. Treble crochet position. Pick up stitches, and work single crochets corresponding 1 by 1. Work 2 single crochets into the corner space. One side of the motif, all crocheted following this same method. Work 2 single crochets into the corner space. Treble crochet stitches correspond 1 by 1. Work single crochets. Work 5 single crochets into the chain space. Make 1 single crochet in the middle stitch. Repeat this process. Complete all the way down the side of motif 1. When you reach the beginning chain position, insert your hook into the slip stitch insertion point. Work 1 single crochet. Adjacent stitch is not obvious. Pick up these 2 strands and crochet. Now move to the remaining side of motif 2. The hole next to motif 1. 5 single crochets are completed. On the edge of motif 2. 2 single crochet positions. Make 1 stitch in each. Work 3 treble crochets on the post. Pick up a stitch on the single crochet edge, work 1 stitch. Continue on the treble crochet post. Work 3 stitches. Work 1 single crochet on the edge. Finally, in the starting ring, work 1 single crochet. Join with a slip stitch at the marker position. Pull tight. Round 1 is completed. Now crochet round 2. Make 3 beginning chains. Count these 3 chains as 1 double crochet, mark on the 3rd stitch. These 3 stitches correspond to the stitch below. Work a double crochet in the adjacent stitch. Yarn over once. Insert the hook. Draw through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over one after another. Pass through on the hook. The first 2 loops. Repeat 2 times. 1 double crochet is completed. Then make a chain as a transition. Skip the next stitch below and leave unworked. Work a double crochet in the adjacent stitch. Yarn over once. Insert the hook. Draw through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over one after another. Pass through the first 2 loops on the hook. There are 3 loops left on the hook. Repeat 2 times. Double crochet is completed. Continue to work 2 more stitches down. After completing, make 1 chain as a transition. Skip 1 stitch and leave unworked. In the adjacent stitch, work 3 double crochets down. This round has 3 double crochets. Chain 1 and alternate crocheting 1 stitch to another, all the way down. Work them down completely. After finishing the last group of double crochets, make 1 chain as a transition. Skip 1 stitch and leave unworked. In the second stitch, work 1 double crochet. Complete the first group of double crochets. Pick up the 3rd chain of the beginning chain, 2 strands. Finish with a slip stitch. Pull tight. Round 2 is completed. Now work round 3. Make 3 beginning chains. Mark it. These 3 chains correspond to the beginning chain below. Work a double crochet in the adjacent double crochet stitch. Pay attention to the beginning chain. Because you picked up 2 strands to crochet, the adjacent stitch is not obvious. Pick up these 2 strands and make a double crochet. 1 chain. On the left side at the double crochet stitch position, work a double crochet. This round also has 3 double crochets, 1 chain, alternate crocheting, 1 stitch to another. Finish them all. Finally complete the first group of double crochets. Join with a slip stitch to finish. Pull tight. Round 3 is completed. Finally crochet round 4. Make 1 beginning chain to start. Into the same stitch, work 1 single crochet. Insert into the placement of the slip stitch and crochet. Then into the middle stitch of the adjacent group of double crochets. Work 5 double crochets. Treat these 5 stitches as a fan pattern. After completing, into the next group of double crochets, work 1 single crochet in the middle stitch. Then in the middle position of the adjacent group of double crochets, work 1 fan pattern. 5 double crochets. This round alternates 1 single crochet, 1 fan pattern repeatedly. All of them are worked into the previous round. In the middle position of each group of double crochets, finish them all. Join with a slip stitch in the single crochet stitch to finish. Pull tight. Cut the yarn. Weave in the yarn tail along the backside texture. The 4th round is completed. The cuff edge is finished. Crochet the other side using the same method. The hem is crocheted the same way as the cuff edge. Start the first round from the corner chain space. In the chain space at the center of the hem motif, work 6 single crochets. Pay attention, there are 2 groups with slightly different numbers of single crochets. Check the number of stitches as you crochet. Finally complete the missing single crochets in this space. The crocheting method for the next 3 rounds is the same as the cuff edge. Refer to the chart, complete them and you're done. Finally crochet the collar in rounds along the neckline. Watch my demonstration. For the specific crocheting method, the first round is still working single crochets in rounds. I've already crocheted this part ahead of time. Start from the corner stitch of the front body motif. Pay attention while crocheting to the position of the motif at the neckline. The number of single crochets in the corner chain space, slightly different from before. Motif 2 treble crochet post. The number of single crochets worked also differs from the cuff position. While crocheting, check the stitch count as you go to avoid mistakes. Once round 1 is complete, work round 2. Make 3 beginning chains. Mark it. The turning chain corresponds to the stitch below. Work 1 double crochet in the adjacent stitch. Then 1 chain. 3 double crochets. Repeat 5 times, all matching one stitch to another. After completing, make 1 chain as a bridge. This motif's side corner still has 1 single crochet left. Leave this single crochet unworked. Then skip the adjacent single crochet. Skip a total of 2 stitches. Work a double crochet in the 3rd stitch. You can see at the corner position of the front body, 2 single crochets are skipped. Continue down these 2 motifs. Finish crocheting the corresponding double crochets and chain stitches. 1 stitch to another. After finishing the double crochets, this motif still has 2 single crochets left. Chain 1 as a bridge. Skip these 2 stitches. From the corner single crochet of the adjacent motif, work 3 double crochets down. One chain. This round only skips 2 single crochets at the 2 corner positions of the front body. Leave 2 single crochets unworked. Work 1 stitch to another for the rest. Make double crochets and chains. Finish this round. Round 3 is also worked 1 stitch to another. Make double crochets and chains. Round 4, work single crochets and fan patterns. Same method as the cuff edge. Refer to the chart. Finish them. This is the crochet method for the collar. Up to this point, the crocheting process of this vest has been completely explained. If you have any unclear parts during the crocheting process, don't hesitate to join our Facebook group to get supports. Susan's Family. Susan's Family. Supporting your handwork experience. Sharing the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.